Hello, my name is Alexis Alvey, reporting live from Math Minutes. Look at these photographs our Math News photographer has taken. Palm leaves, a leaf and a fern, and flowers. Do you know what all these nature photographs have in common? They are all examples of fractal geometry. Fractals are geometric shapes that repeat their structure on ever smaller scales. A fractal looks the same over all ranges of sizes. This is called self-similarity. Self-similarity over limited ranges of scale is common in nature. A good example of this is the fern. This little purple part is the same shape as this pink part, and this pink part is the same shape as this green part, and this green part is the same shape as this yellow part. They are all the same proportions, but different sizes. According to Tom Mayer, who was a staff writer of Newsday, scientists and mathematicians can use fractal geometry to understand how living things grow and respond to their environment. Fractal geometry is a way to determine shapes and patterns that may not seem to have mathematical formulas, but do. Using computers, mathematicians have found patterns in cloud formations, the shape of shorelines, how tree branches grow, snowflakes, mountain ranges, and biological relations. Scientists are using fractal geometry to find patterns in the brain, the lungs, the retina, and the pancreas in the hopes of finding more information on diabetes. According to Harold Hastings, fractal geometry is still in its infancy, and there are many more exciting things to discover. There are many different shapes of fractals. One is the bush shape. Another is different snowflake shapes. More snowflakes. And a type of triangle shape. The one we will be working with today is the Sierpinski Triangle. To make a Sierpinski triangle, first you draw lines connecting the midpoints of the triangle. Then you cut it out. And you do the same thing again and again and again and again and again until you have the Sierpinski Triangle. Next up is the newest hit rock group, the Math Fact Raptors. Thank you. Hello, my name is Alexis Alvey, reporting live from Math Minutes. Look at these photographs our Math News photographer has taken. Palm leaves, a leaf and a fern, and flowers. Do you know what all these nature pictures have in common? They are all examples of fractal geometry. Fractals are geometric shapes that repeat their structure on ever smaller scales. A fractal looks the same over all ranges of sizes. This is called self-similarity. Self-similarity over limited ranges of scale is common in nature. A good example of this is the fern. This little purple part right here is the same shape as this pink part, and this pink part is the same shape as this green part, and this green part is the same shape as this yellow part. They are all the same proportions, but different sizes. According to Tom Mayer, who is the staff writer of Newsday, scientists and mathematicians can use fractal geometry to understand how living things grow and respond to their environment. Fractal geometry is a way to determine shapes and patterns that may not seem to have mathematical formulas, but do. Using computers, mathematicians have found patterns in cloud formations, the shape of shorelines, how tree branches grow, snowflakes, mountain ranges, and biological reactions. Scientists are using fractal geometry to find patterns in the brain, the lungs, the retina, and the pancreas in the hopes of finding more information on diabetes. According to Harold Hastings, fractal geometry is still in its infancy, and there are many more exciting things to discover. There are many different shapes of fractals. There is the bush shape, different snowflake shapes, another snowflake, and a triangle shape. The one we will be working with today is this triangle, the Sierpinski Triangle. To make a Sierpinski triangle, you first draw the lines connecting the midpoints of the sides. All you do is break the triangle into 4 different triangles, and you cut out the middle. You take that and you do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, until you have the Sierpinski Triangle. Next up is the newest hit rock group, the Math Fact Rappers. Thank you.
The Math Fact Rap is fun to sing. The beat is rock and the lyrics swing. You can count on your fingers, think in your head. Find the probability of 100 red beds. So settle down, hear what we say. The Math Fact Rap is on its way. The Math Fact Rap is on its way. The Math Fact Rap is on its way. Probability is really cool. You have to learn it when you go to school. Probability is finding what the chances are when you pick a yellow jelly bean out of a jar. Probability might seem really hard, but it's as easy as picking a card. But it's as easy as picking a card. Archimedes was born in Syracuse, Sicily, about 287 BC. He founded a better value for pi, which helped every single math woman and guy. He invented the science of geometry for everyone, including you and me. For everyone, including you and me. For everyone, including you and me. There are so many greats, more than we can name. Pythagoras, Pascal, who have a lot of fame. Euclid, Euler, Einstein, Copernicus, and Heron, Lucas, Galileo, and the list goes on and on. Math is fun. We're done. Tick, 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 tick. It's time for Math Minutes.
Thank you, Math Rappers. Now on to late-breaking news. Amanda?
Thank you, Elizabeth. Do you realize how glad you should have been to have gotten through the day this well so far?
So many catastrophes can happen to you. You probably don't even think about what could happen to you in a day.
Just think of all the chances you take by doing what you do every day. All of these chances have to do with probability. In fact, your whole life has to do with probability.
Let's start with the morning. You wake up to the sound of your alarm clock. As you turn it off, you realize that you have a 1 in 350,000 chance of electrocuting yourself. Fortunately, you don't.
According to Jeffrey Kluger of Discover magazine, who got these statistics from the Book of Risks, a lot can go wrong in the day. After you've safely turned off your alarm clock, you try and get out of bed.
Here, there also lies a risk. There is a 1 in 20,000 chance that as you get out of bed, you could trip as you put your feet on the floor. This could cause you to fall and suffer a fatal skull fracture. Hopefully, this won't happen.
Finally, you leave your house with no accidents and try to make your way to either school or work. There are many dangers here also.
If you take either a bus, drive a car, or walk, you have a 1 in 5,800 chance of being involved in a driving-related accident.
33% of all people killed in urban traffic accidents are pedestrians. The average passerby has a 1 in 40,000 annual chance of being hit. This may seem like a small chance, but in large cities like New York, which has about 7.5 million people, it means that 187 pedestrians are hit a year.
Do you know that you have a 1 in 250,000 chance of dying in a flight-related accident? According to the Book of Risks, this is true. Back to you, Amanda.
Assuming that your day at school or work passed uneventfully, there are still many risks before you go to bed.
Maybe now the risks will catch up with you. This could be the day that you will die from a snake bite or a black widow spider attack. After all, you do have a 1 in 21 million annual chance of this happening.
Or maybe your 1 in 2 million annual chance of being done in by a tornado will come true. And what about your 1 in 700 lifetime chance of suffering an acute appendicitis attack?
Just because you make it to bed at the end of the day doesn't mean that you are safe. In an average year, 1 out of every 2 million Americans will die from falling out of bed. 1 out of 400 will be injured lying in bed, generally because of the headboard collapsing, the frame giving way, or some other mechanical failure.
To show you some other statistics quickly, we will now turn our attention to the Risky Business Bulletin.
The risk of being injured in an elevator ride is 1 in 6 million.
The risk of contracting an infection during a stay at a U.S. hospital is 1 in 15.
The risk of being involved in an alcohol-related traffic accident in a lifetime is 2 in 5.
Your chances of winning the Irish Sweepstakes lottery are 1 in 5,245,786.
The risk of being wiped out with everybody else on Earth by a meteor is 1 in 20,000. I would just like to point out that your chances of being wiped out are greater than your chances of winning the Irish jackpot.
Your risk of being hit directly by a former celestial body is 1 in 150 trillion. Although these facts might be shocking, they are true according to the Book of Risks.
As you can see, probability affects all of us in our daily lives. This is Elizabeth Ladner
And Amanda New reporting from Math Minutes. This will conclude our show for today. Tune in next week when we discuss other important math subjects.
Also, there will be a new song from our math rappers. Good night!